Game 3 in our first semi-final here at the ZOTAC Cup Monthly Final, and we have once again Hyun, this time starting to the bottom left as Zerg in red, and his opponent Arthur, the Protoss player, starting to the top right for the Western Wolves, sponsored by Mad Cats. And this is the third game between the two of them. Hyun winning the first game on Daybreak, where Arthur tried to overwhelm him with a double proxy play, whereas in game number 2 Arthur just outplayed Hyun on Belcher Vestige. Now we're heading into the third game, and this is a really good map for Hyun, because we have Belcher, not Belcher Vestige, but of course Neo Planet S. We have it now in... This is just one of those games where, as a Zerg, you usually know what the Protoss player is most likely going to do. The big problem for Protoss is taking the third base. Here we have the natural, where we see Arthur dropping a pilot and most likely going into a Forge first play, or the Nexus first, depending on what he scouts. But the big problem is this huge way that he has to cross if he wants to take a third base. And this third is really difficult to get, because this area here that we have between the natural and the third, this is where the Zerg player usually tries to attack. And then if the Protoss goes over to the third, you can walk into the natural. There's so many angles where you can attack that it's very difficult to defend against it as a Protoss. A lot of Protoss players therefore trying to go into two base timings. That can be very strong, so you have to be ready for it as a Zerg player. You have to see what's coming and you have to prepare accordingly. But this is one of those maps where Protoss is struggling a little bit if they try to take a third base and the Zerg player is aggressive. And this is the map pick of Hyun. So I mean, knowing Hyun's style, he likes to be aggressive, he likes to use these timings, and he will try to abuse that. He will try to punish Arthur for taking a third base, trying to move in and make sure that he uses this timing window that he has to do damage. He wants to advance to the final here. And currently we have the Overlord spotting what's going on, starting of course with a pylon at the front. Hyun now knows that there's most likely not going to be any kind of opening to the gateway, therefore the timings are very much different from what they usually are. He sees the Forge first, and now Hyun knows, okay, I can go into my usual third base. So what he is most likely going to do is dropping the third base at roughly 420 in the game, droning up, and then trying to find out what exactly the transition for Arthur is going to be. Once the Cybernetic Square is done, you want to know what's happening. You want to send an Overlord in your opponent's base, roughly at 6:30, finding out what is going on. Is there going to be some kind of robotics play? Are we going to see an Immortal push? Is there a +1 attack upgrade at the Forge? Is there going to be a Stargate opening, for example? So whatever it is, you need to find out what's happening as a Zerg player. And Hyun is even dropping that third base faster than we expected. Roughly at the 3:55, 4-minute mark, he's going into the third base. So this is the reaction of him scouting that this is a Nexus first. Lings are getting a bit aggressive here, and they could actually take down one of those pylons if not for the cannon that we see. The Overlord has to move back, but so far Hyun playing a very strong game. Or not very strong, but he's playing what you would expect. We talked about openings in game number 2 and about possible transitions for a player. But this is just one of those things where we have Hyun reacting to the style that he sees coming out from Arthur. So, action and reaction, that's basically what is happening here. The natural is now being saturated with drones slowly but steadily. We don't have gas just yet, and Hyun is in a position where he just likes to drone off as much as he possibly can. Invest all the lava into drones, not getting too many lings out there. You don't really want to have too many because you want to have the better economy instead. Getting those extra queens out, and you can see the position here for the Overlords. Just finding out everything that is happening here and getting them into a good place so that at 6:30, when the core is done and when your opponent has also his tech started, you can go into the main base, roughly between 6 and 6:30. The Overlords now are trying to find out where exactly those pylons are positioned so that he knows where to move in. And we have now at the top one of the pylons that Hyun hasn't spotted yet, and a Twilight Council. Ooh, this is going to be awesome. With the Twilight Council, this is definitely something where you try to be a little bit sneaky. Arthur has the option of going into Blink Stalkers, and he has the option of going into Dark Templars. He can also go into Zealots with Charge and maybe even Archons after that. A lot of options that he has depending on what kind of style he prefers and if he wants to take a third base or not. Blink Stalker timings were very popular in Wings of Liberty. Fell a little bit off the grid after a while because their players knew how to deal with them. but it's something that comes back and that you can use again, especially against Terran. It's a great build on maps like Aquilon Wastes, but also on a map like this, you could try to go for it, and that's exactly what we're gonna see. We have the Blink upgrade, and it's very unfortunate for Hyun that he never saw this pylon. So Hyun at this point is really in the dark. He has no clue what's going on there, like no idea whatsoever. And he takes into hatch. He didn't start his speed just yet. That's gonna happen very soon as he has the additional 100 gas. He's gonna drop more gas fairly soon as well. The Roach one, a bit of a precaution here to make sure that if there is going to be an earlier attack that he can do something against it. But this is gonna be really scary. +1 attack upgrade and Blink on the way. What I'm missing are the additional gateways, and there they are. All the way to the right side. Arthur is doing such a great job of hiding this. And Hyun is still completely in the dark. He has no idea. He has no clue what's going on here. He has to play a catch-all build basically. And also Arthur moving across the map right now, trying to just put a bit of pressure onto his opponent. Just trying to have a little bit of a look what exactly is going on here. What do you have? Where's the creep so far? Do you have speed already? What are you trying to do? And Arthur is going all out for this Blink aggression that I talked about. I mean, the guy is dropping 7 gates right now. This is like massive. He will be at roughly 40 harvesters. 47. This is kind of like a double. This is like a double 4 gate with Blink. That's because why we have those additional harvesters now, the +7. And so far, the pylon has not been spotted. Now he sees it. There are already sentries, and this is gonna hurt. Arthur is going to bring the pain. Hyun has the supply advantage, but with good Blink micro, Arthur should be able to do a lot here. Blink micro, time warp, and force fields. That is what it's all about at this point. And also, of course, the Mothership Core is granting vision onto the high ground, so he can use that as well. And here we go. The party is on. Tequila shots for free. $1 each, 50 cents, whatever. But this is definitely party time. We have him moving in right now. And Arthur, he is out for blood. Hyun is trying to get more units in. Arthur is waiting for another round of warp-ins. He has the resources. And once the rocks are gone, he can just move in there. And he will blink his heart out. There is another run by though to the right side, and this is a little bit of a problem, especially since the pylon might actually die. The force field saving the pylon, and the War Prism still taking down those rocks. Now the Blink is good. The Stalkers are trying to take down as many roaches as they possibly can. Another round of warp in has to be warped in. Once he loses the pylon, he lost the pylon. Oh god, I didn't even see that. He lost the pylon, and now he lost a lot of momentum. There's no way for Arthur to warp in units at the front, and that's exactly what Hyun needed. Hyun might actually be able to force a recall, and he does. He is able to hold this without taking any damage whatsoever. Oh my god, Hyun. And that is like horrible for Arthur. This is horrible. He lost every single pylon, and when you use all your forward warp in points, you just can't do anything. You can't warp units in at the back of your main base and just walk them to the bottom left. You lose way too much of your momentum there. Arthur is trying to move in, but once the Hydra Den is ready and there are Hydras in the game, the gateway units are gonna melt away. So many resources here for Hyun. Look at this. He's banking so many resources because he wants to have the Hydras. Does he have the lava though? Yes, he has the lava. Hyun, you need to build those Hydralisks. I'm not quite sure why he's stopping here. He's supply blocked. Oh god, he is supply blocked here. That should have never happened. There's a big oversight here by Hyun. Time warp not doing too much. Maybe used a little bit prematurely here. And now the Overlords are gonna pop, and then we will have the Hydralisks, and here they are. Hydralisks are being built 14, and if those see the light of day and range is done, then Arthur can kiss his chances goodbye to win this match with his little Blink Stalkers alone. He would have he needs like the perfect force field. Oh my god, that poor guy. I mean, that attack was so well planned out. Now the Lings are moving in, the Roaches are already in there, the Blink has started, Arthur is moving back, he's losing sentry after sentry. This is a massive amount of force field. He drops the time warp on top of it just for good luck. Arthur is losing just so many units already, and now the Hydralisks are there with the range upgrade. It is time to bring the pain, but Arthur still has a lot of units here. He could actually still take this. He has 84 army supply against 96, but Hyun, he is reinforcing his army, is once again taking a little bit of a lead, even repositioning the Spine Crawlers, and Arthur just waiting for another round of warp-ins. He has the round, and he needs to move in here. The +1 attack upgrade is already completed, but so is the one for Hyun, and here comes the Zerg player. Once again, the force fields reinforcements not doing anything. Fail fields here by Arthur, and he is losing so much. Hyun is closing the distance with the units that he has. The last sentries are already going down. The Hydra is backing off a little bit, waiting for the reinforcements, but the sentry is gone, therefore no Guardian Shield any longer, and also no additional force fields for the Protoss player. Arthur is moving in, but the Spine Crawlers alone already hold him at bay, and Hyun is in a 40 supply lead right now, just rebuilding his army, piece by piece, unit by unit, moving in once again, forcing another blink back by Arthur, and the Protoss player, he's completely all in with this. He is on 2 bases against 3, he has to take it with this attack, but he is falling farther and farther behind, and he knows it. He needs to do something, and he needs to do it fast. Zerg missile attack +2. This upgrade can't finish if Arthur wants to win this game. He's warping in as much as he can, but Hyun is still going strong. He has a 60 supply lead by now. His better economy is kicking in. He's capitalizing on the better economy that he has, and he's forcing his opponent back once again. The blink is good for Arthur, but he doesn't look like he can really push this through. He might be able to kill those units, but can he really deal with the reinforcement? It doesn't really look like it. Aggressive blink here by Arthur, trying to do as much as he can, but Hyun, he doesn't miss a single inject here. He's warping in round after round, and we have him now in a position where he's reinforcing with Zerglings now that we don't have a lot of Zealots in the mix for Arthur. And this is just not looking good. It's just a back and forth battle. Arthur with a blink, he does as much as he can, but the links alone, that's going to be the issue. Hyun identifying that there are not a lot of Zealots anymore in the composition of his opponent, and the Zerglings, they will be able to close the distance, chase down those Stalkers, and end the game in favor of Hyun. He's moving in once again. One Spine Crawler is down, and now the Zerg player really trying to do his best. He even has an Overlord in his opponent's base to make sure that there is no transition happening. Overseer sees everything, and once again the stance between the two armies. Hyun is moving in, all those Hydralisks doing the DPS, and we have the Roaches also closing the distance. Once again the blink back is good, but a 50 supply lead for Hyun. And Arthur, he's just running out of steam. So far he was able to hold this, but the problem is he's running out of mineral patches in his main base. At some point he is going to starve here. Can he push that through? It doesn't really look like it, but he's certainly gonna try. He's blinking his heart out with his Stalkers, microing as much as he can, but this is it. We have Hyun pushing through, taking down everything, and Arthur fighting like a lion, but he is losing the game, and Hyun advances now to the final of the ZOTAC Cup Monthly Final.